Up next, the middleweights face off with Japan's Hideto Tatsumi versus New Zealand's Pat Crawley.
The tail of the tape.
Pat Crawley, 30 years old, and Tatsumi is 27. They both made weight at 84 kilograms. Tatsumi's got the height advantage at 185 centimeters, and Pat Crawley, just like me, 178. Tatsumi is the judo expert. Crawley is the boxer.
This is the first event of our main card, Vaughan, and it looks like it's going to be an absolute barn burner. Two big boys.
Oh, this is going to be great. This is going to be a slugfest, I'm sure of it. I asked Tatsumi, I said, are you going to take this guy down right away or what? He's a really dangerous boxer. And he's like, no, I'm going to stand and trade with him. So we'll see how long that lasts. Crawley is the southpaw. I'm also a little concerned about Crawley's time away from the ring. It's been 7-8 months now since he got injured, and that affects you. Tatsumi is fighting regularly. He's a bouncer in Japan, and I think that keeps him pretty physical too. He said there's quite a few times when he's got to take people out with judo throws and use his judo pins to restrain them until the cops come.
Tonight's clock brought to you by the City of Dreams, Macau. Feel the rush of spectacular entertainment.
Both fighters respecting each other's striking power here, being very cautious as the fight starts.
It does tend to happen with the bigger fighters. Oh, with a high kick there from Crawley straight away.
Nice uppercut by Tatsumi. I would definitely give, from what we've seen in the past, I would give the boxing advantage to Crawley.
And with Tatsumi's judo background, you'd think it's to his advantage to go for the clinch, for the takedown, and just bring it down to the ground and take it from there. Crawley is a very well-rounded fighter, though.
Yeah, you're not safe on the ground with Crawley either. We saw that when he took apart Bhupesh Kimble on the ground. That was insane. I was sitting right in front of that action, and it was like a guerrilla attack. It was just this tremendous combination of blows, and Bhupesh tapped out quick from that.
Well, those many months away from the ring can be seen in how cautious Pat Crawley is being. Trying to get the feel of his opponent here before he does anything too reckless.
Oh, nice overhand left that connected there. But Tatsumi stays on his feet. Now he's got the body lock. Let's see what he can do with it.
Crawley doing a beautiful classic.
There's that judo. There's that Japanese judo. This is where we have not seen Tatsumi here in the past. And I'd like to, this is supposed to be a specialty. The takedown to the ground and pound. Let's see what he's got now.
It's also a chance for us to check out Crawley's guard game. He's tying up Tatsumi's arms pretty well there, but his guard is open. He's closed it now.
What Crawley needs to do now is separate their two torsos. Once you get the distance, just like that, you can start dropping bombs, and that's exactly what he's doing.
Tatsumi letting off some bombs there from the guard position. Crawley now trying to break down his posture so that he cannot unleash those bombs from his fists. Crawley using the open guard. He's trying to shrimp out, maybe go for looks like he's going for the Kimura there, but giving it up pretty quickly.
Of course, from the bottom here, the options for Crawley are submissions, of course, but in the striking department, just like we just saw, elbows are the best bet because you don't have the power in the punches. The power comes from the torso twist, and you just can't twist your torso in this position. So it's not an even trade-off. The guy on the top and the guy on the bottom swapping punches.
And just now, Crawley went for that Kimura, and Tatsumi taking advantage of that to move from guard into half guard.
This is definitely Tatsumi's world. As a judoka, he spent hours practicing pinning guys down to the ground in this fashion, and it's going to be a real hard job for Crawley to get back to his feet.
And a really good judo guy who knows how to use his weight can do a lot of damage even from half guard.
Yeah.
Putting all his weight from his shoulder onto Crawley's face, making life very uncomfortable for him.
I wonder what Tatsumi's ultimate plan is here. You know, if he wanted to do some damage with ground and pound, he could posture up and use this distance to drop some bombs. But it seems like he is choosing himself to smother Crawley in this pin position. Maybe he's planning to pass the guard and go for submissions. Let's see what, that would be interesting.
Well, it seems like he is trying to pull that left leg of his out so they can get the mount or side mount, but Crawley doing a good job of tying it up, locking it down, so he's stuck in this half guard position.
Yeah, the 30 seconds left in the first round, and he spent quite a bit of time now on his back, and that is exhausting, let me tell you. If something doesn't change, when the second round begins, Tatsumi is going to have a huge advantage in, he's going to have a lot more gas in his tank, I'll tell you that.
10 seconds left in this round.
Punches right to the end of the round. Great work from Tatsumi.
A good opening round from both fighters, but I suppose Tatsumi getting the better of it after getting that takedown and working from the guard, and then later on the half guard.
Crawley had that nice overhand left. Let's look at the replay. Let's look at this. Ooh, beautiful judo toss. Boom. Right into Crawley's guard. And from there, it was 100% Tatsumi, with the exception of a few nice elbows from Crawley.
All right, fight fans, for all the latest inside news from the World of Legend Fighting Championship, do click online. Go to www.legendfc.com to find out the latest news about our upcoming events, fighters, ring girls, anything you want to know. Go to that website. Tatsumi looking still pretty fresh, sitting in his corner there.
Tatsumi seemed to be able to take Crawley down with ease once he got that body lock. What Crawley needs to do, and I think that Crawley does very well. He did very well standing. He landed that nice overhand left and some good clean kicks. He needs to keep his distance and at all costs keep away from the clinch with Tatsumi, where the chances are he'll get put back on his back again.
Well, it was a fairly cautious beginning to the fight. Both fighters warmed up, getting to know each other a bit better. Tatsumi, I suppose, coming out a bit more confident, going for that clinch again. Oh, but a nice one.
See, Tatsumi's punching his way into the clinch, and his hands are really wide. And this is a huge target for someone with accurate punches like Crawley. He's really got to be careful. Definitely, we're seeing in Tatsumi a much more patient fighter than we saw in his last fight.
Absolutely. It was a brawler, a street brawler that we saw pretty much in the last fight, but now he's
Nice high kick.
using his thinking strategy much more, waiting for the opportunities to present themselves.
Nice short right hook from Crawley. Oh, now, oh, look at this. Crawley going for a takedown of his own.
Oh, that was...
Ooh, that's not how he wanted to get to the ground, is it?
Tatsumi sprawling very well, transferring his weight and ending up in the, looks like the half guard, yes?
Yeah, 3.5 minutes left in this round, and it will really be exhausting if Crawley stays there for the next 3.5 minutes, that's for sure.
Crawley trying to lock down that half guard. Great finding his legs there, but this is Tatsumi's world, as you said, Vaughn. This is what judoka do.
Yep. The pin, it's just, I've trained judo. Of course, I'm not an expert, but it's just hell trying to get out of this position. In a judo competition, the pin is
oh, now he's got mounts.
The pin is how you win the fight. You know, you can throw him clean, you can submit him, or you can pin him just like this.
Yeah, it's their bread and butter. Now he's got mount and he's putting all the weight on his shoulder, on to Crawley's face, making... It's kind of suffocating the breath out of him, squeezing the breath out of him, and Crawley is struggling just to survive at this point.
Pat Crawley told me that his favorite part about this casino is the nice pool at the Hard Rock Cafe.
But he's thinking about that right now.
Yeah, actually, I bet he's not. I bet he's thinking about how he can get out of this fight, get to his feet, knock out Tatsumi, and enjoy the pool tomorrow.
What's your favorite part of the casino, Vaughn?
Man, you know what my favorite part is? Is the greeters on the gambling floor. When you go into the gambling floor, they say, hey, have a lucky night. I just love that. Because, Ali, in my language, getting lucky has nothing to do with blackjack. Look at that mount is just smothering, isn't it?
Yeah, there's no daylight at all. Look at that, look at that. No daylight at all between the two fighters' torsos. Crawley's in the world of... anyone who's trained judo or jiu-jitsu who's been in this position knows it feels like there's a tank on your chest. You can't breathe. You're just trying to get out.
I don't think that those punches are hurting too much, but it's definitely going to be frustrating. And of course, he's scoring a lot of points here. See, Tatsumi's got his legs wrapped inside Crawley's legs. That's called a grapevine. And every time Crawley goes to do a bridge, Tatsumi straightens his legs and prevents him from bridging, and that keeps him flattened on the ground like that.
True. Crawley needs to extend his legs in order to break free from that grapevine before he tries that bridge. But, I mean, it's easy for us in this comfortable chairs, ringside, to say that. But when you've got Tatsumi on top of you, it's a different story.
It's definitely a different story this time around for Tatsumi, isn't it? It's been all him.
Yeah, a much more cerebral Tatsumi we're seeing this time around. I'm very impressed with this.
50 seconds left in round 2. It must be exhausting for Crawley there on the bottom.
This is Tatsumi bringing into play all that judo experience, all that grappling experience, all those hours on the mat, making life a misery for Pat Crawley, who's been out of the ring, let's not forget, for a lot of months with injury.
Right. Also a full-time police officer in Auckland, New Zealand. But that might be to his advantage. I'm sure in certain parts of Auckland he gets a lot of training walking the beat. There's some rough neighborhoods there.
10 seconds left. And when Tatsumi's not smothering him, he's raining elbows down on him when he does get that little bit of daylight. Oh, and he was about to tee off, but it was saved by the bell, was Pat Crawley. Let's take a look at some highlights from that second round there.
Okay, here's Crawley going for the double leg, and then he tries to do a fireman's carry. Doesn't work out for him. Tatsumi gets on top and then spends the rest of the round smothering Crawley and dropping short punches and elbows.
How many people must have tried that in judo class against Tatsumi? He must have that so deeply ingrained in his memory muscle to counter that fireman's carry.
Yeah, frustrating return so far for Crawley, but I'm not going to count him out. I'm still a huge fan of Pat Crawley, and anything can happen. He could very well come back in this third round with a different game plan, keep it on his feet, knock out Tatsumi. Anything is possible.
That is right. 5 minutes left, and this is MMA. Anything could happen. One punch is all it takes, and a punch has defeated Tatsumi before, as we saw from Legend Fighting Championship 7 when he was beaten by Yang Hei-jun in pretty devastating fashion. Final round, can Crawley turn it around?
Definitely it seems as though, obviously, Crawley, his energy supply has been taxed a little bit more than Tatsumi. Tatsumi still looks a little fresh, and Crawley is covered in sweat. Yeah, smart move by Tatsumi to take it back to the ground. Up against the ropes now. Crawley needs to do everything he can to keep this fight standing. Caught up in the ropes now. Thomas Fan, expert referee, going to pull them out. Starting them back apart from each other.
And I think Crawley has to realize that the onus is on him to turn this match around, because he must know that he's very behind on points.
Yeah, he's lost the first 2 rounds. And winning this round is not going to cut it. The only thing that's going to cut it is a knockout, and he just rocked Tatsumi there.
Devastating left hook there, and another left straight.
Uh-oh, so close. Now Tatsumi's on the ground, but we just don't know how dizzy he is. He might not be stable enough to maintain the top position.
And he freed his legs there to get into side mount, which is very, very bad news for Crawley. You don't want an expert judoka to side mount you. It's just very few options to escape.
Oh, beautiful, good work. Now Crawley on top. Now this is where we saw him against Bupesh, and it was just as I said, it was like a guerrilla attack. He just rained down hammer fists, And he might be planning to do that right now if he's not too tired. Oh, look at Crawley looking to wrap up a footlock. Nice work. Fails the footlock, but he stays on top. Looks like Crawley's taking a bit of a break here. It's not a good idea. He's got to use the last 3 minutes, spend all his energy going for the kill now, because he doesn't have another option.
Tatsumi staying calm though from the bottom.
Nice elbow. Nice elbow from Crawley. A few more of those. Nice, nice. Here he comes. Is this going to be a comeback?
Tatsumi doesn't want to eat too many of those. Oh, the
beautiful transition, but it's not going to work on Crawley this time, is it?
Now, conversely, Tatsumi is underneath now in the half guard, and judokas, when you are in their half guard, they can do a lot of damage cranking your leg.
With the lockdown technique.
Yeah, with the lockdown right there.
He's using the lockdown on Crawley, but in MMA, it's, you know, when you have the option to punch and elbow, being in half guard is not such a bad thing, is it?
And Tatsumi looks like he is reeling from those elbows that he received just now.
Uh-oh. Good work for Crawley to come back. This might be a change of tides. Like I said, don't count Crawley out. He could just come back now and win this fight. Nice elbow from Crawley on top. Yeah.
Tatsumi looking to get that right underhook so that he can post back up, but not managing to get it. Crawley, meanwhile, still raining bombs on Tatsumi underneath. Oh, Tatsumi doesn't want to stay there for too long. Don't know how much of those he can take.
Crawley is a real workhorse. He must have been exhausted from those first 2 rounds of being pinned and eating elbows and punches. And he's just coming back, which is so aggressive. You can see how tired he is, and he just keeps coming back, pushing Tatsumi through the ropes. Oh, it's Crawley that's gone through the ropes. I wonder how they're going to reset it.
Crawley looks like he's on his last legs there. That ring rust looks like it's coming back to haunt him. He's really tired, mouth wide open.
This is bad for Crawley. Being tired like this and being underneath Tatsumi's pin, it doesn't look good for Crawley now. Of course, Tatsumi is tired too, and if he doesn't stay active enough, Thomas Fan's going to stand them up.
Thomas Fan shouting at them to work harder. He wants them to make more progress, or he will stand them up, and exactly what he's going to do now. 50 seconds left on the clock, just under. Can Crawley pull some magic out of the hat? Crawley looks really gassed.
Yeah, look, dug that short right hand into his liver. Crawley's Tatsumi's still standing. Driving him into the ropes now, the last 30 seconds, and Crawley's back on his back again.
Not only that, but his guard is wide open. Tatsumi is pretty free to pass that at will if he wants, if he has the energy.
Just a real war of attrition. Both fighters extremely tired now.
Tatsumi's corner shouting at him that it's almost the end and just urging him to give a last push. Well, that was pretty much as explosive as everyone expected it to be. Both fighters giving their all. Nothing left in the tank.
What a fantastic fight. That's been a great fight. Both fighters showing mutual respect, shaking hands afterwards.
Look at Tatsumi, he almost collapsed in Crawley's corner there. Yeah. Let's have a look at some highlights from the replay action now. This is the 3rd round.
See, Crawley did really well. He rocked Tatsumi with a couple punches, but then Tatsumi got the body lock. It ended up on the ground, Tatsumi on top. Crawley eventually got the reversal and he took the top position. Did some damage there, but eventually Tatsumi got back on top, and here it is just at the end of the round. Tatsumi finishing inside Crawley's guard. It should be an easy win for Tatsumi.
Yep, I've got him winning all 3 rounds. Crawley did look very tired, and he was out-grappled. He was outplayed on the ground. I don't think there's much doubt about that. Pat Crawley coming out of the Strike Force camp in New Zealand, home to a lot of our favorite fighters here at Legend.
Yeah, you know, Kai Kara France told me once, he said, you know, one thing about the fighters from Strike Force is we all bring it, and I agree completely. All the Strike Force fighters, win or lose, they throw on a spectacular performance. It's always fun to watch.
Let's get the official decision now. courtesy of Vivek Mahbubani.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 3 rounds, we go to the judges' scorecards for decision. 經過3個回合之後，我哋以台下評判分數決定勝負。Judge Jordan Morley scores the contest 29-28. 評判 Jordan Morley 俾29-28分。Judge Scott Morley scores the contest 29-28. 評判 Scott Morley 俾29-28分。Judge Daniel Charles Pereira scores the contest 29-28. 評判 Daniel Charles Pereira 俾29-28分。而一致決定勝出嘅係 for the winner by unanimous decision, Hideto Tatsumi!
No surprises there, Ali.
A very tired Tatsumi getting the win. Very well earned win as well.